So most of you know that I've been recommending a PC build that's about $650. This is a build that I've actually put my 4080 build aside. I've decided, okay, I'm just going to stick with making videos with that build. And I'm actually gaming on this particular build. It's basically my daily driver. I've been using it for a while now. I think since March, that's when I put the lower level GPU in it that I bought just to show that this is a viable build that can play any game and do very well. To that, one of my audience members asked me a very good question. I thought it was a really well, set up question because it really does help the conversation to make things a little bit more clear. So they said, why are people still trying to build, console specs PCs? Wouldn't that be a downgrade and defeat the whole purpose of owning a PC? And, they said they thought that, this whole purpose of owning a PC was that you're past these specs and then you're somewhere doing around, 4K, 120 or 144 if you are trying to go play on a gaming PC. I can understand this particular perception. So let's see if we can break it down. Number one, the reason a lot of people go to PC gaming is not always because of the FPS at first. Yes, sometimes the FPS is the driver. In my case, when I was on PS4 and I was playing Tom Clancy's The Division 1, I was definitely in a position where I was like, man, I am not, happy with 30 FPS, seeing other content creators play the game at 60 FPS, and I was making content and I liked the game so much. And I was like, no, I'm going to go play on PC. And I went to the PC platform and was able to enjoy not only that game, many other games. And I just kind of stuck with it, even though I still got a PS5, because I still liked the PlayStation ecosystem, to a certain extent. So that's one of the reasons people actually go. But other things like subscription services, being locked into one ecosystem, not having availability of your backward compatible games or old games that you've played in the past, these are actually strong motivations as well that move people to actually go play on the PC. So it's not always the performance at that high level. Just a little bit of performance will actually get the job done. The second thing too is I went ahead and replied that question and I said, the PC I've been recommending is a console priced, not console spec'd, which means for the same price, you get better performance. I made a spelling error here. And that PC can play 1440, 60 with no upscaling with a number of games. Now, here's the thing. That PC runs a 6750 XT and it has a Ryzen 5 5500. I've done a lot of different, videos here on this channel where I've shown the game, playing the game that is locked at 30 FPS, even right now on console, Gotham Knights, and it plays that game very well. It can play it at 1440 and do very well and hit 60 FPS for the most part in that game. That game is CPU, intensive because of the way it's designed. I think this is the reason why you can't get it at 60 FPS on the current consoles right now. And which leads me into the main thing, which is every game's performance, or I think performance of hardware, actually is very dependent on the game itself. If the game is not going to allow the hardware to perform well, then the game is not going to allow the hardware to perform well. It's just going to be resolution at Dragon's Dogma 2. That's basically what you're going to get. So in this particular situation, I think a lot of the perception is something that we have to clarify, because even though that PC may have similar components to the PS5, even though it doesn't, it has better components than the PS5, it's still a device that can do better. It will carry out more tasks for you. It will be able to render videos if that's something that you're into. It'll be able to do a lot more than just game. And so you're actually getting a better machine. Even if all you want to do with it is game, it's just giving you extra, just giving you more, because that's the way PCs have been designed in our world. The console, on the other hand, they know that all you're going to use it for is gaming. But one thing that's actually inspiring this conversation is that the console manufacturers are promising you something and they're not giving you the full story. They're not telling you everything that's actually involved in this whole conversation. They're telling you, oh yeah, you can start playing at higher fidelity mode and all that, while they're not telling you in the open that, hey man, this is all dependent on the game. While on the box of your Xbox Series X and your PlayStation 5, they write it in small fine print. Go get the box. Look at the caveat for what it says about 4K 120 FPS, because the console can support 4K 120 FPS, but it's not going to do it in your favorite games, or it's not going to do it at the, resolution and the performance that you would actually desire as native, which you can get from a build like that. And so I continued saying, the PS5 Pro is being rumored to play at 800p resolution. And then I've also shown this PC to basically be able to deal with do better than the PS5. It's not even a question. So now the PS6 is coming. What are console players going to do? Just recently, we were hearing the news that Intel was about to get the contract, and then it went back to AMD. And so again, which makes it very easy because AMD kind of has, even if Intel got it, it would still have been easy to be able to parse and figure out, what the comparisons are. But one of the reasons we're making a lot of these builds is simply to show you from the, on the PC side that, hey man, you can get better for the same amount of money, in some cases less amount of money, because you can actually pick and tweak the settings in a way that you actually want it, and your PC is going to pretty much play and engage with the game if it supports it, if it's optimized well, in a way that actually gives you what I think is the best bang for your buck. And so that's basically what we're doing. Another thing too is we're looking at the price to performance ratio. This is something that a lot of console players, for the most part, have not actually had to deal with, because for the most part, one of the crazy things that happens is they'll just tell you on the console is $500, but for the most part, you wouldn't know that the console has been subsidized, so you think, oh, this is a better deal. But in the end of it all, they're gonna get their money back from you. They're gonna come back and they're gonna sell you a PlayStation subscription service to play online, because you're gonna play some online games. Then they're gonna also sell you games for more money because they'll get their licensing fees and make that money back from you. There's no two ways about that. I mean, you've seen the cost of games on PC, especially with regional pricing. It's not even funny. So with these things in mind, the PC is priced better, gives you better performance to the dollar, and at the end of the day, it's just better than, say, a mid-gen refresh, because them asking you $200 for you not even being able to play, GTA 6 at 60 FPS is weird, guys. Like, anybody who played, say, right now, anybody who's playing at the bare minimum of what PC gamers can play right now, if they have, like, say, a 6 or 8 core CPU, which can already play a lot of the, games from Rocksteady at 60 FPS, because they just have a lot more in terms of performance. If they spend $200, they'll be able to play 60 FPS if they're strategic with their upgrade. Does that make sense? And that 60 FPS is not just going to be for that game, GTA 6. It's going to be for basically a lot more games. So you on the console, if you're going to spend $600, $200 extra, then you got to think about what it is that, you're going to be getting. And if you think it's okay for you to be at a high likelihood of still playing at 30 FPS after spending an extra $200, and you're okay with it, then that's fine. Enjoy yourself. But at least we here that are actually talking about it and showing these examples, at least we've said something about it. We've told you, we've informed you. And so that way you cannot say, nobody actually told me, but you're well informed. I hope that helps. I hope that clarifies a few things in terms of this video, because I'm sure some people might have like all kinds of interesting questions. But again, leave them in the comment section. We'll keep talking. Thanks for watching. Peace out.